Okay, I'm back. Much quicker than you thought I would be. Fooled you. Okay, I knew I was coming back soon, but I didn't want to say anything. Okay, yesterday was it? I don't know. Yesterday or the day before, we did the polyrhythm video, which was, you know, a little more advanced for the beginning students. And actually, as I looked through it, I didn't demonstrate as much of the fill idea. So I might do a part 2 to that to give you more of an example of the polyrhythms in fill situations. I sort of I did a little bit on the snare, but I didn't do it as much on the toms and use it, apply it as much as I would have liked. So I'll probably do a part 2. But after I did that, I was had the radio on, and this song came on, and I thought, you know who doesn't get enough credit? I don't think, is Phil Collins. Everyone thinks of him as this poppy kind of guy from the 80s, you know, Susu Studio and some of the ballads, and of course, the Big Phil in the song I can't think of right now, but everybody knows the Big Phil. And I can't remember it, but I will at some point. But anyway, they know him more of the ballad guy. But if you listen to some early Genesis and some really cool, great drumming stuff, odd time stuff, I think one of my favorites is called an album called Three Sides Live, and there's a song called In This Cage and Afterglow. Those two songs are fantastic drumming. I know Chester Thompson is playing drums while he's singing, but he gets behind the drums and plays for a big portion of that. I believe there's a live clip of that. You can see it online. But Phil Collins' drumming is really underappreciated. And how many people do a song where the drums are the primary melody part besides the vocals? Not many. So I heard the song and I said, that's a great drum song and a good one for beginning students. It's kind of a syncopated pattern, but it's all toms. And that's the whole song with a little synth in the background. And there's basically 2 or 3 parts. So quickly, this is going to be a short video. It's called I Don't Care Anymore. And I think it was Phil Collins' second solo album. The first one had the In the Air Tonight, which was the song I couldn't remember. The first one had the In the Air Tonight, and it had the Big Phil. But this song I always like better than In the Air Tonight. And it starts off with, it's just drums. And there's only one time where he hits cymbals, and that's at the end. And he puts them in a weird spot. So interesting. So good beginning student song to play. A little challenging maybe for the beginning student, and not so challenging for the intermediate, but a fun song to play. And the drums carry the song all the way through. And there's no straight like hi-hat pattern. It's just tom, sort of a syncopated rhythm, and then only one section does he hit the cymbals. So it's kind of cool. Okay, so I Don't Care Anymore. So right here on the screen, I'm going to show you there's basically 3 rhythms in it. And then there's some times where he varies it a little, right? He adds some things, and you have to listen close. But for the most part, the basic rhythm, okay, is the first beat, okay? It's a 16th note dotted eighth, right? So it's 1/8. So the downbeat of 1 is not the part really that starts the groove. It's the E, and that's why it's kind of cool. It's kind of the 1 is a little bit understated. That's the part. Okay, so 1 E and okay, then we got 2 E and okay, then we got rest on 3, 16th note rest, 3 E and then 2 eighth notes, 4 and. Now he had a bigger drum set. Obviously, back in the day, they had the big drum sets. For you people still doing the 4-piece drum set, shame on you. But I know there are people that do it. Do the best you can. This song wouldn't work well, probably, with that. You're going to need some more tones in your tom. So I've got the traditional 5-piece kit, but even this kit is a little small, okay? But you do the best you can, right? So 1, or you could use your snare if you turn the snares off. And he does use, I think he uses snares at one point. Keeps the rhythm the same. But he does use the snare, I believe, after the second chorus. You'll hear him do a fill. He just does a simple fill. He goes on the snare, and as soon as he does that, the song shifts to, I believe, a backbeat. Then on 2 is no longer with the toms but on the snare. But the rhythm stays the same. So again, the rhythm, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4. Okay, that's the basic pattern. It's actually pretty slow too. Great song, again, for the beginning student who wants to play something a little different. Okay, so he has that. And sometimes he even makes it simpler than that. Sometimes he plays 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a. So sometimes he just plays that pattern. 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 and. Okay, so sometimes he just plays that. So you could kind of see where he mixes it up, orchestrate it kind of how you want. But again, there's really no guitar per se. There's no guitar solo. There's just a synth in the background and this pattern and obviously his vocal melody on top. That's the song, okay? And then a couple of changes. But then towards the end, he starts screaming. I believe this song was about, I think, if I remember, I read something once, I believe this is about either his ex-wife or his ex-girlfriend, I don't know. But apparently Phil doesn't care anymore, from what I'm gathering from the song. He really doesn't care anymore. No, 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 I don't care. No more. No more. He really doesn't care. He makes that pretty clear that he just doesn't care. No more. He just doesn't. Okay, so as it gets towards the end of the song now, he plays a little bit different ending. Now here I have the different ending. The beginning part's the same, 1 E and a 2 E and but then he comes in on the of 3, and then he plays 4 E and he plays this right with the floor tom or a tom somewhere. But then he comes right back in with the, I'm going to assume the bass drum on 1 and the E of 1 again. That's the beginning of the pattern. So we got this, right? So 3 E and 4 E and 3 E and 4 E and. So you come along the of 4 and then right back in 1 and then the E again. Because remember, the first part of the groove is. So when he does that ending, 3 E and 4 E, comes right in because it's the 16th, last 16th and 4. He comes right in on 1 again. Okay, very cool. So that part is. Very cool. Use some different cymbals, whatever you want. And again, I believe he turns the old snares on at some point. And it might be a little more of an electric kit, but whatever. You get the idea. Big toms, lots of fun, little syncopated. I like the little dotted 8, 16th, 16th, dotted 8, all that kind of stuff. It's good for your reading, and it's the whole song. That's it. If you want to sing along, perhaps you have someone in your life that you don't care about anymore. And you just want to belt it out like Phil did. Usually we all have somebody from the past we feel that way about. Okay, at any rate, forget about all that. Concentrate on the drums. So I'm going to play the song. I'm going to stop this, and then I'm going to play the song at the end. And then, again, if there's copyright problems, then we don't have to deal with that. But that's it. So there's, I have the 3 different rhythms. So one of them is, you'll see them up here, one of them just a 1-bar phrase, and then one of them, I don't know how I'll cut this out, but I'll make it so that there's the 3 distinct rhythms because I have it a little weird on the paper. But there it is. So one of them, and that's kind of the main one. And he might have a little wandering hand where he plays some other accents. But again, and then we get to a point, I think at the end where it's even simpler, just this. Something like that. And then the ending with the cymbal. Not that part. using flams. I'm doing flams for the main accent parts. I don't know that he does that, but I like using flams. So you don't have to, but there you go. So I am going to play the ending part. We're going to see if it works, and hopefully it does, and if not, that's okay. Put the song on, listen to the pattern, listen to it go through, take a look at the notation because it's pretty accurate, I would think. Again, orchestration a little different. Again, there is a section, I think, where he does come in and play the snare on 2, probably about 3/4 of the way through the song. Doesn't matter, though, okay? The rhythm is what matters, and it's the whole song. Kudos to Phil Collins. He had this way about this sort of rhythmic, tom, melodic thing, and how many drummers have a song, a hit song, where the primary sounds are just drums? Not many. He probably has more than one. Now that I think about it, he might have another one, but that one's big. And obviously, he always had these big tom sounds. So I think underrated. Doesn't get it's never mentioned in the great drummers, but great playing. A lot of odd time stuff. Genesis in the early days, intricate stuff. Yeah. After he went solo and they got poppy and everything, people maybe thought less of him or whatever. I don't know. I thought, having grown up in the 80s, I thought Genesis and Phil, I wasn't a huge fan of Susu Studio either, but that was a little, made him a lot of money though. Anyway, there you go. I Don't Care Anymore. Learn it. This one, great tom groove around the drums. You'll like it. You'll play this stuff more than the polyrhythms, probably. And you'll have more fun doing it. So crank it up, turn up Mr. Collins. He's retired now. I think he's got ear problems, knee problems, lots of problems. Tough life for a drummer on the road all that time, back problems. Tough go, ear problems, whatever, all kinds of stuff. But great drummer and really a good song. So take a listen. I Don't Care Anymore, Phil Collins. And let's hope that you hear the song coming up right now. Okay, let's see if this is going to work. We'll put the tune on, hear the intro, and then it'll go through, and then the singing starts, and you'll get a real good idea of the groove, okay? Have fun with this one. You will. Play through it. Have a good time. So that is the basic groove that I mentioned before. Okay, I'm going to go to where the cymbal part comes in, which is at the end of the song, or towards the end. And again, there is a part also where it gets even simpler, where I believe he just does the 4 and at the end, distinction there. Okay, let's see if I can find the cymbal part. right, have fun with it. Excellent. A lot of fun. Huge toms. If you do have a big drum set, you're going to have a great time. Use those small toms for those early, the beginning, the first part of the fill. Bring it down to the bigger ones if you got a smaller drum set. Boo. But do the best you can. You can still work out the rhythm and kind of move it around. Go buy yourself a tom just for songs where you might need it. Okay. Anyway, work the song out. Have a good time. Practice, practice, practice. This one you can get down quick and turn the song on from the beginning. It's got a little bit of a weird, kind of a change. You might get messed up a little by the beginning. Don't let it worry you. They do a little shifty thing. I think after the first 3 bars, right before it starts off a little different. But don't let that one bother you. Just hang in, play the song. You'll have a good time doing it, and that's it. Hopefully, I got another one coming up. I'm on a roll. So have fun. Phil Collins, underrated. Have fun.